Want to make a wallet from a bad inner tube like this but don't know where to start? You, my friend, have come to the right place. While only joining virtually, you're at BICAS. Now, back to the wallet. Let's start with our materials. Inner tube. Consider that the tube must be wide enough when cut flat to fit a card lengthwise. Typically, a mountain bike tube works best, but be careful when using a thorn-resistant tube because when folded, they're too bulky to be used as a wallet. You might want a ruler for measuring and making straight lines. You'll also need a pen to mark up the tube. Between sewing thread and embroidery thread, really either one works as long as it fits and is strong enough. A large eye blunt needle works best and is safer, but a regular needle will also work. We do offer a kit that includes a blunt needle, paper instructions, and enough tube and embroidery thread for one wallet. A link can be found below to our Etsy listing. First, we start off our wallet by turning the tube into a sheet. You will need a 12-inch section of tube. Avoid the air valve unless you want a funny looking wallet. Cut as straight as you can down the length of the section of tube to produce a sheet. The dimensions aren't that important, but we've found that 11 inches by 4 inches works great. A good idea is to use some items intended for the wallet as a mock-up for your dimensions. This stitch is going to take up some space, so you want to give yourself about 1/4 of an inch. Use the ruler to mark out your piece, then cut it as smooth and square as you want your wallet to be along those marks. Remember, measure twice, cut once. With your rectangle lengthwise, you will fold both ends inwards so that there is still a gap in the middle about a finger's width. The gap is important to allow the wallet to fold, but its dimensions are not. One may use their desired contents of the wallet to ensure the right fit. You can use pins or some tape to hold the pockets in place for a much easier time stitching. Now we need to prepare for stitching. What we need to do is get a piece of thread roughly 6 feet long and get the thread through the needle eye. After making sure that both ends are equally far from the eye of the needle, we tie a simple knot in the end. Sometimes I like to do a double knot for added security, as the knot stops the thread from coming undone. Now we stitch up each side of the 2 pockets. A variety of stitches can be used, and in the description below you will find a link to the variety of stitches one could try. Today you will see a demonstration of a simple hemming stitch. As you can see, my stitches are not too far apart, but not too close. There's no right or wrong with this, but keep in mind that you will need more thread if you decide to stitch close together. Once done stitching, you're going to want to tie a knot so that the wallet doesn't fall apart. To do this, stitch just one layer, and before pulling that stitch tight, you'll want to keep a loop and run the thread through that loop. Now pull the loop tight and this forms a knot. I like to do a second knot like this in a cross pattern to the first knot for a little bit of added security. Sweet! Now you can just do the same thing to the other side. And the wallet is finished. If you've made it this far along, make sure you give yourself a pat on the back. There's so many different things you can make by stitching up old inner tubes. We would love it if you tagged us in any of your creations on the BICAS Art Instagram. Thank you for watching our video. Make sure you thumbs up, tell us what you thought, and subscribe to get more of our videos in your feed. And as always, love, peace, bicycle grease.